Welcome back. This entire section is dedicated to the business management section presented under your instance settings. We've already seen and talked about some of the important configurations you should be making on the initial setup, as well as some of the settings you should be implementing once your instance is up. Going forward, we'll be talking about the remaining configurable options available. Let's start from our instance by going to Settings, Business Management. As I mentioned, we already talked about the importance of setting up part of the initial instance configuration items, like the fiscal year setting, as well as maintaining every year the business closures. This plays into how scheduling and SLAs work. Sales territories is one of the settings that allows for sales functionality and assignment. You can structure territories on the system in various ways, mapping to your business. In this example, I have each territory mapped to a geographical region in Canada. Observe that each territory has a specific sales manager assigned. Opening a territory, we can drill down into the resources available for that territory. The manager is automatically assigned, but other resources can also be added or removed. Next, sites are physical locations of facilities belonging to your organization. Here, you define the location, address, contact information, etc. Once you have a site configured, you can associate various resources operating from that particular site. The facilities equipment allows us to capture and configure various equipment as it relates to a specific pre-configured site. For example, we can track a 3D printer with an asset ID of ID 31267 located at our Toronto North office. Now you start to see how this starts to tie together. Resource groups allow you to define grouping of resources for a specific service. These resource groups can be assigned to specific service requests when more than one resource is required. Next, Services allows you to capture service requests. You can define the duration and schedule. On the bottom part of the screen, you can select the resources assigned for this service. We can select from individual resources, resource groups, or apply a selection rule. Note that for more advanced service management, you should be considering the field service solution. Currencies allows you to define additional currencies on top of the core currency. When defining currencies, we need to also define the exchange rate. Note that this rate is manually defined. If you need a process to keep the currency conversion aligned to the market values, you will need to create a custom process to push updates at regular times. Connection roles and relationship roles at first look quite similar. That is in fact because relationship roles are the old way of creating any kind of association between records. Connection roles are the improved version of creating these relationships. As such, you should be using, going forward, connection roles. If you open connection roles, you will already find a list of defined relationships. Open former employee, for example, and observe how this connection is defined. Note that you can update any of the existing ones, delete the ones you don't need, or create entirely new connections.